to expect. You know what is coming your way. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and this is the stadium. Yes, your 101.1 million capacity stadium, which can cover everything under the sun that is called sport. Whether it's table tennis, whether it's long tennis, whether it's darts, whether it's dimbe, whether it's ludo, whether it's tente, whether it's football. This is what we do here on the stadium. And of course, my name is Bucci, and like Liverpool, I never walk alone. Yes, my supporting striker, the man with the floppy hat, Mr. Prolific himself, Mr. Ted, is out today. He is actually submitting his CV in London to be part of Tyson Fury's coaching staff. We wish you, Mr. Ted, all the best of luck. Yes, you're still tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and we have a lot to cover this afternoon. As you know, this stadium, this edition of the stadium on the weekends, we do this for 2 hours straight, where we just talk about sports, anything sports, whether it's in the local leagues, whether it's international, whether it's in outer space. That's what we're going to do for the next 2 hours. Of course, I'm going to open up the lines to you out there immediately so that you can give your own comments and observations about anything and everything trending in the world of sports. This is 2018, a fantastic year for sports, for many, many things are actually coming our way. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings about some of the things, about some of the things that are happening in sports? We have about 1,000 fans. Nigeria Supporters Club coming out to say they have 1,000 fans ready to be taken to Russia to support our Super Eagles as they clash tackles. We also had within the week Azizat Oshola winning African Women's Footballer for the third time. What are your thoughts about that? We also have interesting news in the world of tennis, and today the third round of the FA Cup, a whopping 25 matches played today, 24 so far, one more match coming up. Special match, of course, special match to me, because if you're a true blue fan, Chelsea is going to be trading tackles in a few minutes time. What are your thoughts about some of the games that were played today? FA Cup action. Call in. The number to call is still 081 8999 1011. I'm going to take it again. 081 8999 1011. Moving into the action today, we're going to go straight into tennis. Tennis, a lot of things happened this week in tennis, but the most recent and topping story right now, Simona Halep wins Shenzhen Open as Elina in fact, I must get this name right. Svitolina. In fact, somebody should clap for me right now. My producer is actually giving me the thumbs up right now. Elina Svitolina takes Brisbane title. Yes. World number 1, Simona Halep, and world number 6, Elina Svitolina, continued their preparations for the Australian Open with contrasting tournament wins. Now, Halep recovered from losing a second set at the Shenzhen Open in China to beat reigning champion Katerina Siniakova 6-1, 2-6, 6-0. Earlier, Svitolina claimed the first WTA title of the year at the Brisbane International. The Ukrainian beat surprise finalist Alexandra Sanakovic. These Scandinavian names are going to give somebody a headache, but we will go on. Sanakovic at 6-2, 6-1. Sanatovic, the world number 88, had come through the qualifying. She came up against determined Svitolina, who controlled the match all throughout. Now, the 23-year-old who was a set down 10 aces and never faced a break point on the way to her 10th career title. But moving on to Simona Halep. Halep's match against Sinakovic Sinakova was moved indoors because of rain, of course, and the Romanian started strongly, winning the first set without facing a break point. She appeared to lose focus in the second set, but regained her composure in the decider to break her Czech opponent's serve 3 times to seal her first tournament win since May. That's May of last year, Madrid's Open. Meanwhile, top seed Karolina Wozniacki won 2 matches in just over 4 hours to set up the final against second seed Julia Gorgeous at the Auckland Classic. Yes. And the schedule has been affected by rain, forcing organizers to play the quarterfinals, both semifinals and quarterfinals on the Saturday and move the final to Sunday. Now, Denmark's Wozniacki got the better of the 19-year-old American wildcard Sofia Kenin with a 4-6, 6-2, 6-4 before defeating U.S. qualifier Sasha Vikney at 6-4, 6-4. Vikney had earlier upset third set Zarenka Agnieszka Radwanska, and of course Gorgeous, who had lost to American Sloane Stephens in 2016 Auckland final, was far from comfortable in both her matches. She beat Slovenia's Polana Hergog 6-4, 6-4 in the quarterfinals before moving into the finals with a 6-1, 6-4 win over Taiwan's He Shu Wei. Elsewhere in New Zealand, Britain's Heather Watson made a winning start in qualifying for the Hobart International, beating Australia's Kimberly Burrell 6-3, 6-2. Now, Watson will next face Japan's Neo Hibino, or that's her name is Naoya Hibino, who is 97th in ranking and 22 places below her. A lot of action happening in the women's tennis, in the side of women's tennis. Of course, men's end is going to be decided tomorrow. What are your thoughts on some of the trending stories in tennis? Things are happening right now. You're still tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into the business of the day, and that is tennis. And also, don't forget the FA, 25 whopping matches today. What are your thoughts? What were some of the matches that caught your eye? And of course, Chelsea still gearing up for their own match decider, third round of the FA Cup. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. Tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. Yes, my name is Bucci, and welcome back to The Stadium, your 101.1 million capacity stadium that can cover everything and anything sports under the surface of the sun. Yes, some breaking news coming our way today. Kuwait City Stadium barrier collapses and injures 40 football fans. Yes, dozens of football fans have been injured after a glass barrier collapsed during a celebration following a match held at the stadium in Kuwait. The incident occurred when Omani fans rushed to greet their team after their win in the 23rd Arab Gulf Cup final. The barrier went down due to pressure caused by waves of moving fans, state news agency Kuna has reported. Now, Oman beat the United Arab Emirates, that's the UAE, 5-2 in a penalty shootout at the Jabal Al Mahad Stadium. Our hearts and prayers go out to the injured. Now, about 40 people sustained minor injuries on Friday's incident, with some fans taken to the hospital after being hurt while rushing to celebrate with players following their championship victory, the Kuwait FA wrote on Twitter. Now, Kuwaiti Prime Minister Sheikh Jabbar al-Mubarak al-Sabha visited the injured fans in the hospitals, with images of his visit being posted up on social media sites by the Kuwaiti FA. Our hearts and prayers go out to the injured, and this is probably a lesson now to everyone. When you're celebrating a victory, please celebrate with caution. Moving on to Atletico Madrid. Yes, some interesting news coming out today. As we all know, Atletico Madrid had a match today against Getafe in the Spanish La Liga, winning the match 2-0. But that's not the story making the rounds today. It seems, of course, they debuted their former striker and former Chelsea striker Diego Costa made his debut today, and of course the former Chelsea striker scored a goal before being sent off seconds later on his first start for Atletico Madrid since returning to the Spanish club. This just seems like so Diego Costa. Now, Costa was booked in the 62nd minute of Saturday's La Liga game with Getafe before scoring 6 minutes later. Then he jumped into the crowd to celebrate and was subsequently shown a second yellow card and dismissed. Atletico Madrid won the game 2-0 with Angel Correa scoring the opener. It has been an eventful return for of course, to Atletico Madrid for Costa. The 29-year-old started his career at the club before leaving and joining Chelsea in 2014. He came off the bench to score. He came off the bench to score, and it was a fantastic goal that he did score. Then, of course, like he said, jumped into the crowd. It was, of course, like we said, coming off the bench, scoring in his first game since returning to the club. A 4-0 Copa del Rey win against Liade Espirito in Wednesday. That was some time ago. Yes, before picking up an injury moments later. Of course, this has to be classic Diego Costa. Now, you can't really blame the player for actually showing that kind of level of excitement in scoring said goal. But of course, I don't know how this is going to play out. It's sort of a bittersweet moment in the sense that he actually scored the goal, the winning goal, celebrated, and was sent off, and is going to mix the next match. What are your thoughts about Diego Costa's first goal and first red card returning? An interesting and curious fact: do you know that this is actually Diego Costa's this is his second red card. This is the second time he has received a red card and has been dismissed from a league match during his whole career. Impossible to believe, but it's true. What are your thoughts? You can still call in and share your thoughts with some of the stories trending right now on 081 89 99 1011. Moving on to local sports, and I won't call it local sports, but one of our own living legends. Busapor confirmed interest in Ahmed Musa in a loan deal. Now, Turkish club Bursaspor have confirmed that they are in talks with Leicester City over a possible loan move for Nigerian winger Ahmed Musa. Musa has not featured for the Foxes in the English Premier League this season, though he made the bench in the team's 2-1 defeat against Liverpool last month. His only appearance came in the Carabao Cup win at Sheffield United, where he was on target just once. Now, the 25-year-old is seeking to move away from Leicester City to a club that will give him regular playing time in order to boost his chances of making Nigeria's world squad. The Green and White, who already have 2 Nigerian internationals in their ranks, we're talking about William Trust Ekot and Mikel Agu, can give Musa the chance to play regular football again. Ahmed Musa is a very influential player who will be able to add value and class to us. That's the Bursaspor representative Hassan Parlaki stated during an interaction with media. He said, if we are realistic, we cannot pay for him. We can't buy him. But he wants to play. He wants to play with Nigeria in the World Cup. For this, you have to keep playing and keep form in the league. We have players in our team from the same national team, that's Agu and Ekot, and wearing the Bursaspor shirts on loan until the end of this year is an attractive offer. We hope to give the good news in the coming days. What are your thoughts? Do you think that this is the right move for Ahmed Musa at this point in time? Of course, every player right now is looking towards showing that form, showing that finesse, showing that fitness towards featuring in the World Cup, Russia 2018, coming up fast and coming up soon. And of course, as Nigeria, one of Nigeria's lead strikers or one of Nigeria's leading men, Ahmed Musa will also want to keep informed and to also show the coach that he is prepared and ready. Everybody wants to be featured. This is the time, this is the season, especially this January window. Everybody's looking to move to greener pastures in a sense, and also move to a place that would give them playing time towards featuring on a regular team. So do you think this is the best move for Ahmed Musa at this point in time in his career, to move over to Turkey, to a Turkish side, and maybe feature more? Or do you think he should still remain where he is and languish? Because right now the Foxes don't seem to have any kind of chance or use for Ahmed Musa right now, so he might as well put his talents up on display for another team, a lesser team, and hopefully make the Nigerian squad. What are your thoughts? The numbers to call is still 081 8999 1011. When we come back, we're going to dive straight into the FA. We had 25 whopping FA matches today, and of course the Chelsea match is just underway. What are your thoughts? Call in, share, let us know what you think. It's about 10 minutes in. Chelsea are facing Norwich City in the FA Cup final, and well, not the FA Cup final, I mean the FA Cup third round. 25 matches. I'll give you the rundown of all the matches played. Fantastic goals being scored, surprising score lines, and surprising defeats also. Don't go anywhere. Still a lot of stories up for you to go through, to understand, to digest, because this is what we do here on the Stadium on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. We redefine broadcasting. to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, I'd like to welcome you back to the stadium, your 101.1 million capacity stadium that covers everything and anything sports under the sun. We do it all here on this program. The number to call is still 081-8999-1011. Of course, my name still remains Bucci, and my attacking midfield, in fact, my center forward, the man with the floppy hat, you know him, you love him, Mr. Ted, is unavailably absent today. He has gone over to London to submit his CV to become actually one of Tyson Fury's coaches. I believe he wants to be his dietitian so that he makes sure that Tyson Fury does not ingest any more wild, uncastrated boar meat. Mr. Ted, in fact, we wish you the best of luck. Welcome back to the program. Yes, some interesting news coming out from Liverpool. Felipe Coutinho, Liverpool midfielder, is close to £142 million Barcelona move. Yes, the speculations has been on. We've been hearing a lot of news about it, although Liverpool have been very tight-lipped about it, but it seems where there is smoke, there is fire. Liverpool midfielder Felipe Coutinho is understood to be close to completing a move worth £142 million to Barcelona after missing the Reds' mid-season break to Dubai. After Neymar's £200 million transfer from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain in the summer, of course, Coutinho's move would be considered the second biggest transfer in football history. Liverpool rejected 3 offers from the Spanish side as well as a transfer request from Coutinho last summer. The last of those was worth about £118 million. You see, the 25-year-old Brazilian has not traveled to Dubai with the rest of the Liverpool team because of a minor thigh injury, which has had him miss the club's last 2 games, including Friday's FA Cup third-round win against Everton. Now, Coutinho is one of several Liverpool players to remain behind at the Merseyside as manager Jurgen Klopp uses the free week to freshen up his players for next week Sunday's meeting against runaway Premier League leaders Manchester City at Anfield. Liverpool have been hugely reluctant to lose Coutinho in this January transfer window as they pursue to place a top 4 finish in the Champions League campaign and a last 16 tie against Porto coming up. Now, Coutinho could not play for Barcelona in the Champions League if he joins this month, having already played a key role in the Reds' qualification for the knockout phase, but his continued desire to move and the Catalan club's determination to land the playmaker makes a January switch now increasingly more likely. The player, of course, has carved a move to the Nou Camp since Barcelona first made their concerted efforts to sign him since last summer, and Barcelona are now understood to be ready to offer an excess of 140 million, but Liverpool would prefer Coutinho to stay and have no requirements for the money, meaning they would drive a hard bargain and they would bid on high incentives, which could, of course, be dismissed. However, the Anfield Club have not repeated their hardline definitive stance from last summer when they insisted Coutinho would not be sold for any instant and would reject all requests for him. Now, sources in Spain claim discreet negotiations have been taking place in the last few days, and there's growing belief that Liverpool are now fighting a losing battle to keep Coutinho. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think Coutinho is going to make the move? Do you think he's going to be the second largest transfer in European football history? Do you think he should remain at Liverpool? If you're a Liverpool fan, of course, you're going to want to be selfish about it and think about, yes, what his benefit is to the club. But do you think this is the best move? I mean, £140 million can buy a lot of Coutinhos for probably a fraction of the same amount. Do you think this is a smart business opportunity or a smart business play from Liverpool? Of course, Coutinho himself showing that displeasure in being with the club at this point in time. Should he be allowed to move? Call in, share your thoughts. And moving on to Liverpool, some more news coming out from Liverpool, especially with their FA third round match. Roberto Firmino and Mason Holgate's clash. FA begins investigation. Now, the clash between Liverpool forward Roberto Firmino and Everton's defender Mason Holgate in the Reds' 2-1 FA Cup win is now being investigated by the Football Association. If you remember this happened actually yesterday in their match. Holgate pushed Firmino over the advertising hoardings and into the crowd at Anfield, where with the Toffees player left furious after the pair subsequently exchanged angry words. Now, an FA statement said referee Bobby Madley was made aware of an allegation during Friday's game and included it in his match report. We will now begin to make inquiries into the matter, spokesman said. Neither player was booked after the first half incident, and Liverpool said on Friday that they would cooperate fully in any investigation. While that process is going on, we will not be making any further comments on that. We will not be making any further comments. That was a club spokesman added. That was from the Liverpool camp. Now, Everton boss Sam Allardyce was asked about the incident after the game, and he said, I haven't found out exactly what happened. I'm here to talk about football, not controversial issues. Even if I had or hadn't spoken to Mason Holgate, I wouldn't tell anyone because that's another area of the authority of the football club. I will let the director of football, Stephen Walsh, deal with the incident. I think we have our first caller. Hello, good evening. Hello. Oh, that sounds like a shy caller. Maybe that is an Everton caller, maybe calling in to give his own 2 cents on the matter. The number to call is still 081-8999-1011. Now, back to the matter at hand. Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp said, I only heard about something, but I can't say anything about it because so far I couldn't speak to anybody, and I think from now on, first of all, the club will answer. I don't really know anything about it. James Milner opening the scoring with a penalty spot kick before the equalizer that came in from Everton, from the visitors. But, of course, Liverpool's new signing, their defender, Virgil van Dijk, scored the winner on his debut to put Liverpool into the 4th round. Now, you can actually go online and see the incident and see the shove itself and actually see the incident itself. It actually came up to a bit of a row. All players, in fact, got on deck to even people from the bench actually coming in to step in and separate the two. Now, what do you think? Do you think it was probably the heat of the moment or out of frustration? And do you think Firmino actually acted out of turn with his, of course, this is football and you have these kind of incidents that happen all the time. But what do you think about the incident? Do you think it warrants such a massive investigation? Do you think it warrants such media hype around it? Because it was pretty. If you looked at it, it looked pretty. It looked pretty big. It looked pretty serious. I mean, the man went flying over the advertising fence into the crowd. What do you think? Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening. How did it work?
Oh, work is fantastic. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
My name is Odoje. I'm calling you from Benue State.
Benue State. How is Benue this evening, my brother?
Benue is fine, sir.
All right. Welcome to the program. This is The Stadium, your number one quantitative sports program on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. What are your thoughts on some of the stories that are trending out there?
Sorry, sir. I'm talking with the ordinary president.
Okay, you're going to want to call back in about 1 hour, I think in an hour's time, you can call back. Right now, this is The Stadium, a program that is dedicated to everything sports right now.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. All right. Have a fantastic evening. Yes, the number to call is still 081-8999-1011. And this is The Stadium. And my name is Bucci. Of course, moving on to more news in the world of football. Jose Mourinho escalates feud with Antonio Conte with match-fixing jib. Now, Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho has continued his feud with Chelsea boss Antonio Conte by saying he will never be suspended for match fixing. And the plot thickens. Of course, Conte received a 4-month suspension while at Juventus in 2012-2013 season for failing to report match fixing at his previous club, Siena. Now, in 2016, the Italian was cleared by a court of any wrongdoing in the matter. Mourinho's comments came after Conte had accused the Portuguese of forgetting his own antics in the past. Now, Conte has reacted angrily to this. Reacted angrily this week to Mourinho's assertion that he did not need to act like a clown in the technical area, saying, "I think he has to see himself in the past." Maybe he was speaking about himself in the past. Now, speaking after his side's 2-0 FA Cup third round win over Derby on win Derby on Friday, Mourinho said the clown comments were not directed to Conte, but he added, "The only thing I will say, let me get into the spirit of the character. The only thing I want to say to end the story is that yes, I made mistakes in the past on the touchline. Yes, I will make less, but I think I will still make a few." Now, what never happened to me and will never happen to me is to be suspended for match fixing. That never happened to me and will never happen to me. Those were the words of Jose Mourinho. Now, Mourinho was then told by journalists, of course, that Conte had been charged by football authorities in the past with failing to report match fixing. Did he? Not me, the United boss replied. Yes, this is a very, very interesting jab. Of course, Jose Mourinho being one of the most controversial figures in football in the EPL, actually making a very, 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 very strong statement. As so the youths will say, shots fired. What will be Coutinho's reaction? Now, on Friday, speaking before United's win over Derby, Conte's reacted to Mourinho, who has managed Chelsea twice, winning the Premier League 3 times in the league titles across 2 spells at Stamford Bridge. There is a person that continues to look here. You understand? He went away, but he continued to look here, said Conte, who won the title last season with the Blues. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Good evening, my brother. Welcome to the stadium. Hello, can you hear me? Looks like we lost that call. Please try and call again. Network is a little wonky, but our technicians are doing the best they can to make this line clear for you to call in and share your thoughts. Now, back to Conte. Conte, and I quote, I'm starting to be a bit. In fact, let me tap into the inner Italian in me. Yes. I am starting to be a bit annoyed. If you want to go to fight with me, I am ready. I am improving a bit in my English because this is the real problem for me. Otherwise, we can go to fight. I am ready I'm ready to fight for me, for my players, for the club, with everyone. I have no problem. But, of course, Mourinho denied he had aimed his comments at Conte. I don't blame the Chelsea manager at all. I understand his reaction. I was speaking about myself, said Mourinho. I was saying I don't need to behave as a clown to show passion. I control my emotions in a better way. Ooh, this is just more shots fired back and forth, back and forth. Now, of course, there's of course a history of confrontation between these two so far. In both their spells here in England, we have in October of 2017, Conte went out to Conte says Mourinho needs to look at himself and stop talking about his former side. And of course, in July 29th of the same 2017, Conte said that he must avoid a Mourinho season as the champions attempt to defend the Premier League title. Now, of course, in March of the same 2017, Mourinho, of course, shot back and he told Chelsea fans, I'm still number one, after being heckled during his side's FA Cup loss at Stamford Bridge. And of course, we remember on February 12, 2017, Conte says he does not like Mourinho's joking after the Manchester United boss said Chelsea cannot be caught because they are a defensive team. And of course, this all started back in October of 2016 when Conte said he was not mocking anyone after appearing to antagonize Mourinho in the Manchester United 4-0 defeat at Stamford Bridge. Yes, these are the best of enemies, frenemies in the EPL. Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte. What do you think? Two very prolific coaches with very different styles, coaching two of the biggest teams in the EPL right now. Manchester United second in the EPL in the Premier League, and Chelsea coming in a close third. What do you think? Who do you think has the upper hand? As a Man U fan, do you stand by your coach, Jose Mourinho, or as a Chelsea fan, do you stand by your coach, Antonio Conte? Who do you think is the more mature, apparently, or the less animated amongst these two fine coaches? Top-class coaches in the world. Of course, you can't get along with everybody. Conflict is part of a relationship. What are your thoughts about this relationship or this budding feud between these two players? Yes, the number to call is still 081-8999-1011. We're going to take a short musical break. When we come back, we still have more action for you in the FA Cup third round. It's about 47 minutes into the Chelsea-Norwich City match. It looks like it's still 0-0. A whopping 25 matches happened today. You want to hear more about it and the details of each match? Don't go anywhere. We will bring you more after this. tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and welcome back to the stadium. It looks like it's halftime with the Chelsea Norwich City FA Cup third round match. It's halftime and it's still 0-0. Looks like we have a call coming in. Hello, good evening. There's only one man and one man only with the whistle. Mr. Spirits, good afternoon.
The firstborn of human earth.
AKA.
Spirit.
Yes.
AKA.
Yes, my brother. Welcome to the stadium, Spirit. Welcome to
the biggest stadium so far.
Yes, the biggest 101.1 million capacity stadium, ready and available to anyone and everyone under the sun that loves and is a lover of sports.
That can even occupy the spirit man itself.
There's always room for you here, Spirit. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Spirit.
What is going on with Man City?
Manchester City, they played their match. They played their match today. They actually won Burnley 4-1.
4-1. Okay, I wish Chelsea 1-0.
Okay, that's your prediction. Okay, then.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Spirit. Thank you so much for that prediction.
Mention.
All right, have a fantastic evening.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Yes, this is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, Man City played their FA Cup action, their third round match today against Burnley and walked away with the victory, with a 4-1 victory. There were a whopping 25 different matches played today in the FA Cup third round. I'll give you a full rundown of all the action that happened. So keep your dial locked and keep it tuned here to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, my name still remains Bucci. And as reported earlier on the scoreboard, ex-Super Eagles keeper Ida Peterside congratulated Super Eagles Super Falcons forward Azizat Oshola on winning the African Women's Player of the Year prize for the third time. Yes, Oshola, who is 23, beat out Cameroon's Gabrielle Aboudi and Christina Katlana of South Africa at an event organized by the Confederation of African Football, CAF, in Accra, Ghana on Thursday. Peterside told newsmen on the telephone from Johannesburg, South Africa, on Friday that Oshola's award is a victory for Nigerian football. According to him, Oshola still has more to offer the country despite moving to China to continue her career. In her speech, of course, while receiving or after receiving the award, Oshola said it has been truly an emotional journey through 2017. Azizat Lamina Oshola, MON, plays professional football for Chinese side Dailin Quanjin FC in the Chinese Women's Super League as a forward. And here on the stadium, we raise our hands in a big salute to her and say congratulations. She is a Nigerian living legend, a legend in the making, and a true patriot. Azizat Oshola, we on the stadium say kudos and congratulations to you. Of course, also reported this morning, Samuel Ikpe, national chairman of the Nigerian Footballers Supporters Club, the NFSC, on Thursday. Looks like I have a call. Let me take this call before I go on with the news. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Hello. That sounds like a Manchester City fan, or actually maybe a Burnley fan, calling to complain about Manchester City's walkover win today. Yes, Samuel Ikpe, national chairman, Nigerian Footballers Supporters Club, NFSC, on Thursday said the club would take 1,000 of its members to cheer the Super Eagles at Russia 2018 World Cup. Ikpe made the disclosure to newsmen in Lagos while reviewing the club's preparation for the World Cup holding from June in Russia. He said the club has set machineries in motion towards ensuring that Supporters Club was adequately represented in the in the football fiesta at Russia. Of course, Russia 2018, and Nigeria being the first African country to qualify for the competition. Ipe said that the club had received little support from the Nigerian Football Federation and the Federal Ministry of Sports, adding that this would not derail its programs in Russia. Also, Ipe disclosed that the suspended and dismissed members of the club that had their fate decided by Congress of the club, a decision which should be respected by all football stakeholders. Samuel added that the suspended and dismissed members had ulterior motives of causing disaffection in the club, adding that since they could not achieve what they wanted, they have gone off to form another group. And keeping with Nigeria, Super Eagles chief coach Salisu Yusuf has reiterated that his team has what it takes to lift the forthcoming African Nations Championship, which is the Chan Cup, coming up in Morocco. Salisu, who earlier this week released his 23-man squad for the tournament, which is slated, of course, in January. That's the 13th of January. We'll see the team trade tackles with, of course, the likes of Libya, Rwanda, and Equatorial Guinea in the group stages. At the last edition, Super Eagles failed to even make it beyond the group stages in Rwanda, and Silas who said that the home-based Eagles would surpass their previous outings and win the tournament in Morocco. Now, speaking in addition to that story, Rivers United coach Stanley Iguma believes that coach Salisu Yusuf has picked the best of Nigerian Football League's players, and they will deliver at the CAF African Nations Championships, that's CHAN, starting, of course, January 13th in Morocco. Yusuf is an exceptional coach. Yusuf is an exceptional coach with a high level of integrity, he said. That was the reason why he was able to select the best. Now, everyone knows the huge potential in our league, and for him to shun sentiments and the pressure to go for the best convinces me, that's I'm speaking as Stanley Egbunma right now, convinces me more that this team will deliver in Morocco. Of course, two Rivers United players, Emeka Atuloma and Emeka Ogbuho, are part of said squad. Now, of course, let's not forget, we also reported that the newly inaugurated management committee of the Nigerian Professional Football League, NPFL side, that is the Niger Tornadoes FC of Mina, on Thursday disbanded its technical crew, the technical crew of the team. The club's management sources who spoke with the news agency of Nigeria, that's NAN, on conditions of autonomy, however, said that any of the sacked members of the technical crew could reapply for their previous positions. The technical advisor of the team, Abubakar Bala, confirmed to NAN that he had been sacked. NAN reports that Bala led the team to the final in the 2017 Aito Federation Cup, where they lost on penalties to Aqua United. The coach took charge of the club in 2016 following the termination of the appointment of Abdullahi Bifo. The Tornadoes, of course, are scheduled to host Kwara United in the NPFL 2017-2018 season at the Bako Kontagora Stadium in January of 2018. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, this is the stadium. We are going to take a break for the call to prayer for our Muslim brothers out there. But when we come back, FA Cup action still coming your way on the stadium. So don't go anywhere. My name is Buchi, and we'll be right Radio 101.1 FM, and this is the stadium, your 101.1 million capacity stadium that can cover everything sports under the surface of the sun. My name is Bucci, and of course, like Liverpool, I never walk alone. The man himself, the main man, the Mr. Floppy Hat himself, your number one striker on this program, Mr. Ted, is out right now. Like we said, we wish him the best of luck. He's actually in London submitting his CV to join, to be Tyson Fury's new dietitian, to make sure that he does not ingest any more wild boar, any more uncastrated wild boar meat. Mr. Ted, we wish you the best of luck. Yes, FA Cup action today. The third round of the FA Cup in the English Premier League went on today, and we had a whopping 25 matches. In fact, one match is still actually going on. It's about 61 minutes in, and it's still a 0-0 scoreline for Chelsea and Norwich City. Now, I'm just going to give you the quick rundown of all the games that were played today. We had Fleetwood Town going up against Leicester City with a 0-0 scoreline for both teams. Now, Middlesbrough played a 2-0 win, a convincing 2-0 win against Sunderland today. AFC Bournemouth were held to a 2-2 draw against Wigan Athletic, and Aston Villa actually falling short to Peterborough United in a 3-1 thriller. Peterborough humbling Aston Villa. Birmingham City put Burton Albion to a 1-0 defeat. We also had Blackburn Rovers also losing out to Hull City 1-0-2, and Bolton Wanderers played a thrilling 2-1 match, but it was in favor of Huddersfield Town. 2-1, Huddersfield taking the day over Bolton Wanderers. Brentford was at home to Notts County 1-0, and Cardiff City and Mansfield Town played a 0-0 draw, a scoreline of 0-0. Now, Castle United and Sheffield Wednesday also having a 0-0 draw line, but Coventry City actually humbling Stoke City 2-1, walking away with said victory. Now, Doncaster Rovers lost out to Rochdale 1-0, and Exeter City also lost out to West Bromwich Albion 2-0 was the scoreline at full time. Southampton humbling Fulham 1-0, and Ipswich Town also being humbled by Sheffield United 1-0. Of course, main match of the day, Manchester City actually humbling Burnley 4-1, thrilling 4-1 scoreline, and also Millwall following suit as Manchester City and humbling Barnsley 4-1. Newcastle United walked away with a very comfortable 3-1 victory over Luton Town, and Queen's Park Rangers lost out to Milton Keynes Dons 1-0. Stevens Age also pulling a 0-0 scoreline against Reading, and Watford walking away with a very comfortable victory at Brisbane City with a 3-0 scoreline. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Swansea City playing a 0-0 draw, and the biggest scoreline, or the biggest scoreline today, went to Preston North End, who beat Wycombe Wanderers 5-1. It was not a pretty sight. Yes, and Yilnov Town beating out Bradford City 2-0, and of course 64 minutes being played, and Chelsea and Norwich City are still 0-0. Of course, across other leagues across the world, leagues across the world, the Italian Serie A, we had Torino humbling Bologna 3-0. We had AC Milan walking away with a 1-0 victory over Crotone. We had Benevento walking away with a 3-2 victory, a very thrilling match against Sampdoria. And of course, we had Genoa humbling Saluzzo 1-0, and Spal 2013 being humbled to a 5-2 win by Lazio. Lazio beating Spal 2013 5-2. Match also, Napoli walked away with the victory against Hellas Verona 2-0. Roma actually losing out to Atalanta 2-1. And of course, tonight by 8:45, we have Juventus playing and going up against Calgary. Let's not also forget Spain. We had some action in Spain, Spanish La Liga Santander, where we had, of course, like we reported, Atletico Madrid beating Getafe 2-0. Valencia walking away with a victory at Girona 2-1. Las Palmas humbling Elba 1-0. And of course, at 8:45, we have Sevilla versus Real Betis. This is the much we can carry tonight on the stadium. I want to thank all my producers, of course, the production team of Queen Jane and Mr. Brownie Brown, both my humble and big ass, my big producers. Big salute to you. I also want to thank Baba K in the IT department and Mr. Desmond and Monday in the visual department for streaming us live and making me look this good. You can actually go out on our social media pages: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Just type in Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM and follow us live. You can also catch all our programming on our pages. You can go back if there's something you want to rewatch again. You can go back and check them out there. We stream all our programs live for you. We do it for you, the fans. Of course, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and leave a comment out there, because without your feedback, there is no us. I want to thank everybody today who called in and everybody who participated in this program. Yes, this has been The Stadium, and my name is Buchi. Let's do this again tomorrow. Same time, same place, same station. Enjoy your day and have a pleasant evening.